is your boy Bones. This is episode 2 of Bonez Cast. Such a shit name for a low budget, low quality podcast. Alright, so it's episode 2. Episode 1 was just pretty much just the bare bones. Is just see what I did there? Bare bones. Anyway, episode 1 was just basically just telling everyone what the hell this podcast is going to be about and everything. So it's episode 2. It's going to be awesome. I've already released episode 1 today. I actually, funny story about that. When I tried to release episode 1 on the day, on the New Year's, on New Year's day, when I went to upload it, I only got 15 minutes. It only let me do it, and then I actually posted the wrong one. So I posted a 6-minute one when I should have posted my 56-minute one. And I had to get my account verified, which is always fun. And yeah, and then I uploaded it. And then I uploaded today because I couldn't be bothered. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna upload it. And I was a bit nervous about it, like, because I was just very, like, I'm very, let's just say, very nervous on what everything I do. And, like, anything that involves, like, sharing stuff, I'm very, like, I had to double check to make sure it's fine or anything. And then if I feel like it's not great, I get nervous and, like, oh, people are going to hate it and stuff. But, like, the thing is, you're going to have people who hate things. So, I just did it. And so, I'm doing episode 2. And I'm going to release this one today. So, as I finish this one, which is the 4th of the 1st, I will release it today. Or tomorrow, whenever I feel like doing it. I'm going to be doing a live stream, so if you haven't yet, follow me under www.twitch.tv/bones_977. I'm going to be doing a live podcast. I'm going to see if I can get some friends roped in and think of a topic and we're going to talk about, and maybe do a really long one, maybe do a 3-hour stream. I don't know, whatever we feel like. So, topic for today is Batman. Batman and gaming related. I have to admit, I am a massive Batman nerd, and my family are, like, massive Batman fans. Like we all read the comics, we all grew up watching the movies and that, so pretty much we're Batman nuts. And, like, my sister has a Batman tattoo. She's, like, got her entire legs done, Batman themed related. I'm planning to get some tattoos soon, so I can get some Batman related ones. And, yeah, like, the past couple of days, I've been rewatching the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, which I absolutely enjoy from the bottom of my heart. I absolutely love those movies. They're a great quality type movie, and if you haven't not seen it, I definitely recommend watching them. They're great. And then I watched the Joel Schumacher ones during the 90s. So yeah, they're very questionable, those ones. And, like, the funny thing is, as a kid, those were the first Batman movies I used to watch. Like, you know, Batnips. If you don't know what Batnips are, when they made the costumes, they add these little nipple guards on the suits, so everyone just calls them Batnips. They wasn't as present as in Batman Forever, which was the first one he did. Like, they were there, but they weren't as bad. And then when Batman Robin came out, they did it, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. Like, it was just so funny, and it was like over the top as well. Like, you had the cod piece, and, like, when they got up in their costume as well, when they did the whole, like, dramatic swooshing sounds and everything, it was just, yeah, it was very questionable. Very questionable. And then you got the Tim Burton Batman movies, which I loved. Tim Burton did a really good job of bringing Batman into the film industry and, like, bringing him to life. And that was actually pretty dark, and, like, they were pretty good. Like, Tim Burton's directing, he's very known for their very blacks and whites and the dramatic colors that he has. Like, not dramatic, a lot of the grays and stuff he has. It's kind of like the gothic stuff he kind of, like, started in the 90s and shit. And yeah, that was awesome. Michael Keaton was Batman in that one, and he was really good. He was really, really good. And not Nicolas Cage, fucking hell, Jack Nicholson was Joker in that one. And he did a good role in Joker. It was very, like, comic related, but it was very, like, you know, it's Jack Nicholson, like, that's just him type thing. And, like, then after those, and then you got Batman Returns, and it has Danny DeVito as the Penguin, and, I forgot the Catwoman. She was really good. She was, like, spot on, like, Catwoman. I forgot her name. I forgot the actress's name. But yeah, she did a really good job. And it's got Christopher Walken in it, which I find ironic. Christopher Walken is in a Batman movie. Like, you know, he's also in Pulp Fiction and Click. Sorry, I had to do it. You have to do it. You know, if you mention the Great Walker, you have to do an impersonation. You have to. Like, you cannot... If you see, like, a Christopher Walken in a movie, you're instantly going to be saying his voice and doing it. Or you're reading a line, you're automatically doing it in his voice in your head. Anyway, I'm getting very, very, like, out of zone, not paying attention at the moment. So, as I was watching the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, which I really enjoy, I decided, I was like, alright, I love watching these special features of movies. I always enjoy them, like, especially the prop stuff. I was very interested and intrigued in, like, how they made costumes and that. And they did this, for the Dark Knight, I think it's Dark Knight Rises. They had the special on the costumes throughout the years and the Batmobiles throughout the years. And I really enjoyed that. And, they went on, like, how they designed... They went on how they designed the Batman Begins costume. And it's actually just foam latex. And, like, that shit's uncomfortable. Like, looking at that, it's shocking. And, like, the bat suit is just literally, some actors, like, when it first started off, it was, like, 20 pounds, which I don't know how much that is. I think it's, like, almost 15 or 10 kilos or something like that. I can't remember. It's like an extra, like, weight. It's like thick leather, like, stuff that they used to wear. And Christian Bale, his one actually used to give him headaches because the cowl was so tight near his forehead, and it was like it arched his head a little bit when he was wearing it. So he used to get like headaches for like 8-hour period days. It was just shocking. And when I first read about that, I was like, holy shit, how did he get through that? And and like his interviews, he just said he just got through it. He just thought, oh, this is such an honor. And used that anger in the Batman role. And I find the Batman Begins voice that he did was really good. And then, of course, he did the over-the-top kind of slurred Batman speech he does in the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises. And after that, after watching the special features and the costumes, I decided to like look up people who like try to recreate these costumes. And I found this UK company that actually had the original molds from the Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batman, so like the Dark Knight Rises, and Batman Begins. And what they use is they actually repurpose these molds and remake them. And some of the people actually from the original movies do it, and it's pretty amazing the way that they did it. It was really, really good, and I was just like, wow, like it's so like that all that work and everything. And I looked at the price they make. It takes about 3 months for the costume to come through, because what they do is they get your measurements really down to the detail. And it takes about 3 months for the costume to be made, and then a month, or like I think it's like a month or a couple of weeks for it to come over from England to Australia. And I was like, dude, that is full on. And I looked up the costume and the price of it, and it was like, I think it was £1,000 or £500 or something like that. It was just ridiculously expensive. And I was like, shit, who would buy this? And I've seen, like, they had, like, Instagrams of people who bought the costumes and stuff, and I was just like, man, that's full on. So, yeah, it was just like, what? I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to make my own bat costume. That's what I was, like, thinking. After, like, having that big, like, okay, I'm going to make my own bat costume. And, like, I used to do it as a kid, like, thinking of, like, doing cosplay and, like, all that kind of stuff. I was just like, it's too much work. But now it's just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm out of high school. I don't have to worry about people judging me for doing shit. I'm going to do it. So, I'm going to do cosplay. I think I mentioned this in my first podcast. So, I'm going to do Batman as like kind of like a little side project I'm going to be working on. I'm slowly going to make the armor. It's going to be awesome. I already looked at this cowl, and it's pretty expensive. It's like 200 Aussie dollars, and that's coming from England. And the quality of the cowl looks really amazing. It's like pure urethane, and urethane is a bitch to work on. Apparently, I haven't worked on it, so thank God. And then I'm going to work on Green Arrow, Year 1, Green Arrow from the comic. That one's very, very easy and simple to do. All I have to worry about is the hood, which is going to be pretty easy to work on. And then after that, I don't know. See what else I'm interested in. So I can't wait for that. And yeah, like I think just now thinking of like what else to speak about. Like my favorite comic has to be Year One, Batman Year One comic. That was a really good comic, and they did an anime movie of it, which is pretty spot on to the comic. I would definitely recommend see it. Watch it, see it, watch it, and also read it as well. Bryan Cranston plays Commissioner Gordon, and I feel like he's like the ultimate Commissioner Gordon. He has that look and that voice of a Commissioner Gordon. Like if I had like ultimate like movie, like what actors I would pick for Commissioner Gordon and Batman. For Commissioner Gordon, it's Bryan Cranston straight away, and for Batman, I would say Michael Fassbender. I would reckon. I don't know. I think he's got that serious like look, but now he's a little bit older, so probably like a little bit more in his 30s, younger Michael Fassbender. I reckon he's got that. That would be really good. Like, because I like Michael Fassbender as an actor, because he's like, he's in Glorious Bastards, X-Men, and all that kind of stuff. He does a good job. I reckon he'll be like, that will be my ultimate Batman. And Alfred, I like the Alfred I like right now currently has to be the Batman v Superman Alfred. I like that kind of Alfred. He's very like, he's smart and witty, and he knows like to give advice, and he knows when to throw a punchline. So I do enjoy that. That's actually he's a really good Alfred. And the actor is actually in Die Hard. That's the funny thing. He's in the third one. He plays the main villain, and that was a really funny. I was like, that's him, and I was like, shit, that's great. Yeah, those three actors, like, that's the ultimate Batman movie. What else was I gonna think about talking? Video games, yeah, because this podcast is also about video games too. Steam winter sales is ending tomorrow in Australia. I spent way too much money on games. I think all up I spent is a good $100 on games, and I gained like so much from it. Just looking back at my in my library, I bought Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and this is including DLC too, Batman Arkham Origins, Arkham Knight, and a Driver Power Alliance, which was my favorite game as a kid, Far Cry 3, Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition, Hitman Contracts, Blood Money, Absolution, Silent Assassin, and Code 47. Just Cause 1, 2, and 3's DLC. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. Tomb Raider. Let's scroll down. What else I got? That's about it, really. I got a lot of DLC as well. I bought a lot. And I bought a few games for friends and that. So, yeah, I spent a lot of money. And just recently, and then the end of today at work, I bought another game. I bought Ghost Recon Wildlands. Even though I played it last year, they actually have a Predator DLC that I loved. And it plays homage to Predator, and it's great because you can get some gear there. And apparently it's really hard. Like, apparently Predator can, like, one-shot you, which is like, shit, that's pretty cool. So, I can't wait to do that. I've got that currently installing, so hopefully I can play that tonight. And hopefully I can get that DLC and then play the shit out of that game and collect everything. Especially collecting stuff like Batman Arkham. I played that in under 15 hours, finished it, and got all the Riddler trophies. And I was shocked that I did it. I was like, holy shit, how the fuck did I do that? And a lot of the Riddler trophies in that are not too difficult. I know Arkham City, their Riddler trophies are going to be hard, and also Arkham Knight, so I'm not looking forward to that. So hopefully I can get through all that as soon as possible as well. Because this period is where it's like really dead and everyone catches up on games and stuff, which I need to finish Assassin's Creed Origins. I got way too many games on my pile of shame. I got Resident Evil that I need to stream and finished. There's pretty much all that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to finishing it off and hopefully get it done. Another game as well that I'm looking forward to is Far Cry 5. Now, Far Cry 5 got delayed again as well. It's getting pushed to March, which I'm a bit pissed about. March 27th, I think. Last time I checked. And, like, it was originally going to come out in Feb, and I was like, ugh, typical Ubisoft. Like, I was just like, come on, like, can Ubisoft make it on the date that they're going to say? Like, I know they push games back, like, late and all that and delay it. Like, if they delay it for a third time, I'm just going to get pissed and not even think about getting it. Because, like, through back-to-back, all the times they delay a game multiple times, it hasn't been a really great one. Like, they delayed The Division so many times, and I didn't enjoy that game at all. And that's been panned a lot. Now it's getting really popular for some reason. Everyone's now replaying it again. I think because of the Steam sales, I'm not too sure. Like, I see it on Twitch a lot, people playing it. I was just like, shit, like, it's almost a 2-year-old game. Like, why are you playing it? And then you got Wildlands that came out the next year. They announced it, and I was like, really? It's going to pretty much be a copy-paste type thing, but more open world and single player. And I played it, and it was like, it was a joy. It was really good. It's fun with friends. I do recommend picking it up when it's really, really cheap to play with friends. Like, I picked it up at work, and I got it for $20 on PC. Like, what more can you ask for? So I got that. I've got that focused on. So I'm going to be playing that. And then, there's not much other games I'm looking forward to for this year. There hasn't been much announcements. I know there's Days Gone By. I think it's Days Gone or something like that. The zombie game for PS4. The PS4 exclusive. And then you got Last of Us 2, which are part 2, I think it's called. I'm really looking forward to that. I love The Last of Us. That was a really good game. And what's the other games I'm thinking of? And this is not great. Like, I'm trying to think as what games are coming out, and like I can't think of anything else really. Oh, I got UFC 3. That's coming out in Feb 2. And that was very, like, quiet, and then it's just out of the blue, it popped up, and I'm like, oh, shit. So we're like, oh, that's alright then. Yeah, we're looking, it's just this month, this next 2 months or 3 months, it's just dead. Like, you got Monster Hunter, which I played, it wasn't really that, like, popular when you're in conventions, like, it was in, like, the small little panel type thing. And it's just, that's about it, really. There's nothing else I'm looking at. Well, I was looking. Oh, there's a motocross game that's coming out. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Oh my god, Payday 2 on the Switch. Wow, I'm actually just looking up online right now as I'm looking through this. Oh, that's not gonna. I reckon that's not gonna work. How's that gonna work? That's gonna be That's gonna be weird because like a lot of the Switch games, like Doom, kind of worked on the Switch. It was 30 FPS, like it was 720 by 720p 30 FPS, and like if you don't care about the frames and stuff, it's a good looking game. It's fun. But when they released 2K18 WWE, that game was broken. I never seen a game that broken. Oh, they got the Devil May Cry collection coming out again in March. Yakuza 6. Sea of Thieves, I need to announce more on. This is during the March period, so it's slowly picking up. I'm just looking at right now on everything else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's all Switch games through 2018. And that's it. That's Street Fighter. It's just a quiet period. I think once E3 comes around, we can find out what more is. I'm pretty intrigued on Payday 2. I'm gonna see and wait on that, like how that's gonna be like on gameplay and stuff, and especially multiplayer. If it's just gonna be single player, it's not gonna be as fun because I know the AI is pretty stupid in the games as well. Yeah. Oh wow, we're going through my topics real quickly. It's not even like it's not even 30 minutes. It's not even 20 minutes yet. Yeah, jeez. I thought that this would last a little bit longer than I thought. I think because I wrote it down like an hour and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, this should take 30 minutes. Nah, just reading and talking about it doesn't even take long enough. I was thinking about talking about Star Wars Episode 8, Last Jedi. I was thinking about talking about that, but I was just like, nah, people still haven't seen it yet, even though they should. I can't talk. It took me about 2 weeks before I saw it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the ninth film. A lot of people, you know what? I'm not going to talk about spoiler-wise, but I am going to talk about how there's been a lot of hate on that kind of movie. And I think this is the like I think Last Jedi has been the first ever Star Wars movie that divided fans. Like you got the original trilogy that everyone loves near dear in their heart, and then you got the prequels that a lot of people hate, and then you got Seven, which people quite enjoyed, and then you got Rogue One, which kind of people loved and hated as well, and then you got Last Jedi, which people just are a bit 50-50 on it. For what I've heard, I loved it. I loved it when I saw it. I enjoyed it. There was a bit of some nitty gritty that I wish they could have not have done, but still did. I still understand that. My workmates loved it. Like my boss, he saw it like 3 times, and the guys at work loved it. And then like when I was looking online in reviews, and people hate it, and I was just like, why? Like I don't understand why people just didn't like it, and like people was just like straight was saying pointing out these issues, and I was like, don't forget you got one more movie and that trilogy's done. Like don't forget, and so, like understandable they got the first movie to set the bar on what's going on. Second movie was kind of like in between, and the last one finishes off. And I think once we get word on the 9th film, and hopefully when that comes out, that will be great. It's just a lot of people are giving it hate right now at the moment. So yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about it more, but yeah, I still enjoyed it. Still, I liked it. I loved it a lot. It brought me laughs, brought me joy, brought me sadness. And what else can you get in a film? Which is great. I think, like, generally, for me, movies-wise, I think, just in general, I reckon movies nowadays, people, like, criticize it more than what it is. Like, Suicide Squad, when that movie came out, people didn't like it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, people were like, oh, Marvel's owning it. Marvel's doing better than DC. And it's just like, dude, Marvel's had, like, 10 plus years to do it, and don't forget you had like the Hulk, Iron Man 2 and 3 that were not that great. I didn't enjoy Iron Man 2 or 3. I found them very like eh. And then you got Thor, like the very first Thor movie, which is kind of alright. I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to be. I enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. I really liked it. It was very like, fuck the rule book, this is how I'm going to do it, which I loved. And it was a lot more entertaining. It was fun. I enjoyed it. My workmate did not like it at all, which is understandable. I understand because he's very much a Marvel fan. I liked it. It was very, like, you know what, screw the rule book, I'm going to do it my way type thing, and I enjoyed that. And one thing is, it's just like, yeah, with the DC stuff, they're trying to... They're trying to do what Marvel did, but in less time, I reckon. And it all has to do with like Batman v Superman. And I do have to admit, I did enjoy Batman v Superman as much as I wanted to. As a DC Batman fan, I just didn't enjoy it as much. And like when the movie first came out, I was just a bit nah at the end. I was just like, yeah, it's okay, it's not great. And I wish they did more on it. Like they did a little bit more. And like originally, they had like a 3-hour cut, and then they cut it down for an extra. They took like 30 minutes off it or 40 minutes off it, and I was just like, okay, there's got to be an extended edition, which they did, and I recommend watching the extended edition of that movie before you see the normal movie, because like the extended fills in the gaps a little bit more. I think like my main issue was the whole reasoning as well, and there was just these little gripes I didn't enjoy. Like, as a Batman fan, like I was just instantly thinking, okay, what type of Batman is this gonna be? Is this gonna be a younger Batman or much more older Batman? And for an average moviegoer who doesn't really read Batman comics, you couldn't tell straight away. You wouldn't know. You would think, oh, this is a much more newer Batman. And I was just like, nah. Like, you can tell the Easter eggs, like Jason Todd's suit, Who's Laughing Now, and, like, you can tell that he's a little bit more older, Bruce is a little bit more older, you can see the grey hair, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a much more older Bruce. And my main issue that was Clark Kent was, like, bringing it up as a fresh new issue, and it's just like, hang on, Batman's been doing this for a while, like, no one really cares, like, wouldn't care about, like, you know, how Batman is at the moment. And like, I wish they had a scene with Commissioner Gordon saying, "Oh, the like anniversary of the first Batman sighting" or something like that, so people can know that okay, this is a much more older Batman type thing. That's why I wish they added on that would fix some of the issues. Because like the Batman, like the comic readers will point it out. It's like, oh yeah, there's Jason Todd's suit. All right, this is a much more older Batman. You can see hey, he has the older gear there and his newer stuff and all that kind of stuff. He's a bit more grumpier. Like main Manor's destroyed. It's like completely like crumpled up. Okay, this is just much more older, and which I don't mind. But like for me, this movie, like for that movie, it was pretty much he read the Dark Knight Dark Knight Returns and read the fight scene more than I think. That's what I believed he did with Zack Snyder. And Zack Snyder's known for his hit off misses. And like for me, Justice League was completely understandable. Like for what he went through, no one should have to go through. Like I wouldn't wish that on the biggest enemies. And like it's understandable that Joss Whedon took over. So that's understandable with Justice League. That what happened. And but with like Justice, what I felt like with Batman v Superman, he was trying to. The expression goes like trying to cram like 10 kilos worth of stuff in a 5 kilo sack. That's what I reckon what happened. And what I reckon they should have done was if they wanted, because they with the trailer they really did spoil a lot of the film. And I reckon what they should have done was Man of Steel. They could have done Wonder Woman first. I reckon they should have done like the separate movies, 3 separate movies, then Batman v Superman, then Justice League. So you can just get the feel of it. So like have like Man of Steel, Batman, Wonder Woman, and then Batman v Superman. So people can understand. Okay, this Batman's a little more older, more rougher, and then work your way up to Justice League. And I reckon they should have done that instead of just doing. Fitting Batman's storyline in technically a Superman sequel, and which I was just like, yeah, it's just I reckon they should instead of like cramming so much in a movie, I reckon they could like take the time with it, like what Marvel did, like took them 10 years to get to the way they are, to become like absolutely mega houses and like getting all this money and all that kind of stuff, and like selling millions and millions worth of stuff, like, and just like DC is just trying to play catch up by just doing so much, like, whoa, look at this, and then it's just like, wait, there's no storyline, never mind, but just look at this kind of stuff. That's what I reckon what's going on. But I know people can disagree, agree and disagree. It's understandable, and like I enjoy Justice League. I enjoyed the banter because it's very Joss Whedon, who does, of course, the Avengers. Like they got a Marvel director to do a DC movie, which is understandable. But like, I enjoyed the banter as well. I think I enjoyed the banter more than the story itself. And the villain was very like a killed off villain. Like you can tell they're just like they quickly. I think they focused on more like getting the band together than like the main villain, which was alright, but you can tell they're getting Death Said. I think that's his name, Death Said or something like that. Yeah, I think it is. I'm a DC fan. I don't know who the mega villain is. Like they're referencing him, and understandable. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Legion of Doom. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that. That's awesome. Like when I saw Deathstroke, I was like, holy shit. And it was like a few references online every now and then, and there was some concept photos of like people getting the actor. I forgot the actor's name, which is a bit of a shame. I need to look up the actor's name. What's his name? I'm looking it up online. What am I doing that for? Because I can. I'm like the worst with remembering actors' names. It's Joe Millard. These long names. Anyway, he's from True Blood. He's now dating Sophia. Oh, he's married to Sofia Vergara, and he's also in Magic Mike as well. He's playing Deathstroke, and he suits the role very well. When he took off that mask and he had the grey beard and the eye patch, it was like, holy shit, this is gonna be sick. And like Lex Luthor in a suit now. He's no longer like the kitty guy, which I think. with Jesse Eisenberg, the whole story about him being Lex Luthor, he didn't even know he was being Lex Luthor. Like, when he got the script originally, they didn't tell him the character he was playing. So he just played the character that he thought he was, like, thinking in the script. And because he doesn't watch his own movies, he did not know how much feedback he'll get from people. So he was very, like, he reminded me of the Riddler with the ginger hair that he had. The longer ginger hair. Like, if you put, like, a top hat with a question mark, he's instantly, like, Riddler. Like, that's what I thought. He was very, like, he was kind of like the Riddler version of Lex Luthor. Instead of being, like, you know, like, angry and all that kind of stuff at Superman. And, like, when I first... The true Lex Luthor for me is definitely the animated series back in the early, like, late 90s, early 2000s. That Lex Luthor, holy shit. Like, you can tell. Like, that was Lex. Like, if you hear that voice, that's what... For me, that is Lex Luthor. That voice is definitely Lex Luthor. And, yeah. I can't think of anything else to talk about now. I'm like in a mental blank right now. I'm trying to think of everything. I think this podcast will be a short one. I think what I might do is I don't know if I might release this podcast. If not, I might. Who knows? I think I might just pause it and have a break and write down more stuff. I think because I think I'm doing 2 back to back. I should stop doing. I think I should just keep on doing the once a week type thing. Yeah, I think that's what I might do. You know what? I'm gonna end this podcast. Because it is a very short one. I do apologize if I released this and it is short. I think I'm just going to stick with my 1 podcast a week type thing. Until then, have a good one, guys. And I'll catch you later.